Emily, good morning.
Good morning.
So, very first date, what happens?
So he was very chauvinistic and said that I couldn't handle my liquor.
Oh, nice.
So he got into a drinking contest with me, and 2 drinks in, so this is about 45 minutes into the date, he loses and throws up all over me in my $200 shirt.
Oh my!
gross.
Wait, what was he drinking that he couldn't handle 2 drinks?
I think it was like I don't even remember what it was, but I know it had rum and tequila in it.
Ugh, that sounds horrendous. Yep. Okay. I'm going to assume there wasn't a second date.
No.
Okay. Emily, 1 second. You were in the running. Let me go in Germantown. Deb, good morning.
Good morning.
First date. What happened, girl?
So I was set up on a blind date.
Okay.
My friend was dating the younger sister, so she set me up with her older brother, and obviously he was having a hard time meeting people. I was like in my mid-20s. It was in the late 80s, like a long time ago. And I still remember it to this day. I was mortified. I opened the door, and he looked like Elvis Presley. He had his hair slicked back. He had the sideburns. He had the big glasses. He had on a black leather blazer. And so he wanted to go out. And I'm like, I wanted to go as far as possible because I didn't want anybody I knew to see me.
Yeah.
So we ended up in Baltimore, and we went to dinner in Baltimore. And that was actually nice. He was a nice guy, just a little weird.
Sure.
And then on the way back, we went to the movie theater in Rockville where I live. Well, then I started to see people I knew. So I was like hiding my head and whatever. Yeah. So it was a rough evening. But he was a nice guy, just not my type.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I felt that.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. All right, Deb, 1 second. You were in the running. Okay. Let me go. Tanya, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, bad first date. What happened, friend?
I had got all dressed up, my go-get-em heels. I was in college at this time. I went out with a guy, and we were at the dorm room, and we were walking down the stairs, and I proceeded to fall down every flight of stairs, and they had just painted the walls, and it got over my whole outfit.
No!
I was too embarrassed.
No! Outfit ruined. Do we at least have a second date?
No, I didn't go on the second date. My pride was too hurt.
Oh, yeah. That sucks. When you fall on the stairs in slow motion, too. Yeah. I'm like, okay, Tanya, 1 second. You were in the running. Let's try back in Springfield. Christina, good morning.
Hello.
All right, girl. Bad first date. What happened?
So I was in like my mid-20s, and I was hanging out with this like super hot guy. It was our first date, and we went out to this nice restaurant. He had like a nice suit, and I had a dress, and I put my purse on the table, and all of a sudden I knock over all of my tampons fell out of my purse. And they fell all over his lap. Yeah. And I was so terrified. I was rushing to pick everything up, and I spilled the red wine all over his pants.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Was he at least cool about it or no?
Oh, he was trying, but I could tell he was like, uncomfortable with this girl's tampons and red wine all over his pants.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Did we have a second date?
No.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Christine, 1 second. You're in the running. I'd be mortified.
Yeah.
I don't know, but probably more of the wine spilling.
Yeah, I was
more
going to
of
say
like
the wine spilling. That would I'd feel really bad.
Let's go in beautiful White Marsh. Mel, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so met this guy in Bumble. What happened?
So we go to meet at a restaurant to get drinks, and at the Mexican restaurant, so there's chips and salsa just to set the stage. But the man shows up with a cold sore that's like oozing the size of a quarter.
Oh.
And then it was so bad. And then I'm just like, well, I'm here. So I asked the waiter for another salsa, and the guy's like, is it because of the cold sore? And I was like, it's definitely because of the cold sore. So he got mad that I asked for another salsa. And then he just like proceeded to like refer to himself as daddy for like 20 minutes.
Oh, God.
No, he did not.
Yeah, in like third person. And he was like talking about like daddy doesn't do this or daddy like what. And I was like, oh, and I actually said, was like, are you calling yourself daddy? And he was like, what's wrong with that? It gets worse.
A lot of
So then he proceeds to tell me like, I actually don't work. I live off of my ex-wife's alimony from her business. and I live at my parents' house.
Sure.
And like they pay for everything. And this man was like 40, and then he's like, yeah, I don't want to get a job. Like I make enough money off of them. And then he was like, I was like, are you going to pay with your mom's card, jokingly? And he like pulls out his mom's card, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get my own. And he paid with his mother's credit card.
Goodness.
And then he got mad at me and told me that I was rude, and I was like, that's fair. Like,
you're calling yourself daddy.
Yeah,
right? And then he left because I was like, I'm going to finish this margarita. I'm paying for it. I'm going to finish it.
Absolutely.
So like he got so upset with me, the nerve, and then he left, and I was like, okay, bye.
Why? At least he left, so you didn't have to like keep being around him and being fake and waiting.
You can't call yourself daddy when mommy and daddy are paying for everything.
Seriously.
I don't think that's how that works. That's okay. Where'd you meet him, Mel? Was it on an app or what was it?
It was on Bumble. Yeah, I just met him on Bumble, and like we chatted, and then I was just like, at the time, I was just like, whatever, let's go get drinks. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, and the universe said, here's this. All right, Mel, 1 second. You were in the running. Let's go in Germantown. Kim, good morning.
Hello, how are you guys?
Good. Bad first date. What happened?
So I had a coworker of mine that set me up on a blind date back in my 20s. So I was probably mid-20s or something. And I went out to dinner with the guy. He was a little bit older than me, maybe like 10 years. But very nice guy, seemed really pleasant, and we were having a nice dinner in a really nice restaurant. And then at the end of dinner, we went to go order dessert or whatever, and he's like, oh, I'm not going to have dessert. And he pulls out some hardcore substances and decides to start doing it at the table.
Oh!
And I completely aghast, and I was like, oh, my God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought you liked to have fun. He's like, your coworker told me you like to have fun. And I'm like, not that kind of fun.
Like, occasionally I'll have a Red Bull past 7 p.m. on a weekday. You know what I mean? What kind of hardcore stuff are we talking about, Kim?
Like some sniffly stuff.
Yeah.
That he was sniffing.
Yeah.
So
for his sinuses?
It was a little beyond my fun.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the drink.
I mean, it's one thing to do that, I think, in private, but to pull that out like at the restaurant, like dessert, no thank you. We brought our own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And listen, was this in Moco?
Yeah,
because
I was
Moco,
like, wow.
with these damn paper straws, I feel like that wouldn't be good for doing that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Gotta have the reusable one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All right, Kim, 1 second. You're in the running. By the way, vote for your favorite over text 99338. Ironically, second date update comes up in like 20 minutes. Let's go in beautiful Ashburn. Jennifer, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me, guys?
I certainly can. So first date, what happened?
Okay. So I met him on Bumble, and kind of like backstory is like I hadn't dated anybody. This was like my first date, like mid to later 20s. I've always been like a bigger kind of girl, so I didn't feel like confident enough to like go on a date. And then, ironically, like during COVID, I lost like 140 pounds.
Good
like,
for you.
So, yeah. So, I got like the confidence, like, okay, like I'm gonna put myself out there. And my first date was with this guy I met on Bumble, and we had been like chatting. We like set up a date, like where to meet and all that, which was like in a public area, walking like in downtown, in that area. And so we had already scheduled like a place and a time to meet. And I get there and I tell him, hey, like I'm here. And he's like, well, I just woke up. I'm on my way. This was like, I had waited like an hour for him to show up. And, you know, I'm one of those like people who's like more of like a nice person. So I just like brushed it off. I was like, okay, maybe he just woke up late, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. He shows up and preferences, I'm like wearing like a really nice, like, you know, kind of like first date outfit.
Sure.
He shows up in like jeans and like a t-shirt that definitely was like wrinkled, like didn't even look like he did laundry.
Hell no.
And yeah, right. And so then it was like the entire date too. We had been like walking around like downtown and just kind of like chatting all that. The entire time he was playing Pokemon Go. I had to like literally like start the whole like the entire conversation, kind of like get him to like speak to me, and he's just playing Pokemon Go the entire time.
Sure.
And then like we're only there for like probably about like an hour, and then he goes, well, I have to go. There's like a Pokemon Go tournament in Maryland. I'm gonna go meet my friend.
Oh,
see you later. God. And then I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It was so bad, and he was a red flag. He was he was a red flag.
Was there a second date, Jennifer, or no?
No,
yeah, that's probably
not.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I let it go.
Yeah, all right. Jennifer, 1 second. You're in the running. I could not imagine Be like, wonder what? I'm on a date with this hot girl, but also there's a Pikachu here.
Yeah.
And she'll understand.
It's in Maryland, so I got that's like from Ashburn to Maryland, because I made that drive yesterday. That's like 45 minutes.
Sure is.